Welcome back to another video. Now, it's been a long time since I've actually uploaded one of these videos, so before we get back into it, I want you to look at this, because one grenade is enough to basically kill those 4 crowd enemies, or a crowd of 4 enemies, whatever. But likewise, these 2 bullets can do a very similar thing, which is exactly what we're here to talk about. So I thought, haven't really played in 2 months, mainly because I got bored, really. I got no other reason whatsoever. But I basically got bored, and in that time, we had a bunch of perks and a lot of weapons from Vesper's host onwards, I guess you could say, that have really interesting perks. Give me a second. I need to find a spot to check if I have a siphon on, because I don't remember. But I basically wanted to run a dungeon as a Plague Doctor. Now, I chose Warlords because it's 3 boss fights back to back to back. Didn't really feel like actually going and doing, puzzle encounters and stuff like that. So we'll break down the class, the super, the weapons, all that type of stuff as we go on. But for right now, how's it going, everyone? Welcome back. It's been a very long time and long overdue. So before we actually get back into it, let's actually break down some of these weapons, right? Because I have an interesting arsenal. As a lot of you guys know, I am horrendous at PvP, yet I still have a Exalted Truth, which by the way, I do have a Void Siphon, but I have an Exalted Truth. I don't really care about, if people say it's adept or not, I don't care, right? I literally went into trials and I got the weapon in like 2 hours, and the reason why is because this particular role has destabilizing rounds, which everyone knows what that is. However, give me a second, there we are. However, it also has demoralize, which sounds insane, right? And then you read it, and basically, I'll have it on the screen, basically getting precision hits and precision kills triggers an explosion that makes everything weakened, which is really good because you can already see where this is going. Withering Gaze was another perk that got added not too long ago, I believe, like a couple months ago. Basically, if you hold the aim, kind of like box breathing, you basically have a mini tractor cannon-ish effect, and it applies to a couple weapons, surprisingly. There are other things in the game that I really find interesting that I wanted to try out, but the reason I say Plague Doctor is because this is really fun, okay? So the exotic of choice, I might actually swap depending on the encounter, but for the most part, I might actually keep on Necrotic Grip. Now, I originally wanted to do this on a Hunter. I got folded like 3 times in the first encounter, so I opted not to. But on the Prowl is really fun. And that's the thing. A lot of the aspects that are on the artifact, I guess you could say, this season, are like very void-oriented, which is good because, a little while ago, it was mainly just like stasis and stuff like that, stasis and arc. And it kind of is still, but I don't know. I feel like void needed a lot of the... Because I'll be super honest with you, these are tools that literally allow a lot of people to actually have a lot of flexibility in the game because they're debuffing tools. Withering Gaze is like a mini tractor cannon. Destabilizing, demoralize is basically the same thing. And this one, by the way, if you might be, clueless, just as much as I was at the beginning of the season, particle reconstruction came back and I'm dead. Hold on, fuck all that. Hold on, put the game on pause. Hold on. One more cheeky shot before that. Can I get one more? Absolutely not. Bewildered that 3 damage faces does not equal half health. Anyway, yeah, dude, it's been a while and I still suck. Void and Arc are really good for so many things that encompass having fun, that I'm really glad that this season allowed new weapons like this to drop, because it allows for very, very, very fun classes that don't necessarily involve having a child of the old gods, which is the rift that I have, which beats the whole point, really. But I'm just trying to have as much... Look at this. Ready? I'm getting pinned, but if I just get 2 shots off, which I'm failing miserably at, I can basically kill the whole crowd, just like that, as if I owned a Mustang. Look at that. Thank you for the heavy. Thank you for... Let's actually get y'all out of here real quick. Look at that. And, like, that's another thing that I really like. All the explosions basically chain to one another. So, for this encounter, I really wanted to use Exalted Truth, mainly because I need to get some distance on this dude. Mainly because Exalted Truth is really good for these single-ish enemies. We will swap to Gravitic Arrest. I think it's what it's called. You guys probably know better than me. I don't, right? It's whatever. It's like the fusion rifle from Vesper. I basically have Withering Gaze on it as well. And I kind of want to save that for second boss. However, dude, for this particular encounter, like, we're doing pretty well, but I don't know. I really do hope that this is a perk. I'm talking about Demoralize now, that sees its way onto SMGs. Now, again, it's been a while, so for all I know, there's probably SMGs that have. If not, I'll put the text on screen confirming. If you can get this on an SMG, I would be a lot more I mean, I feel like that would be busted realistically, but it would be really fun to actually have. On a pistol, it works really great. And as for the heavy Doom Petitioner, because it has literally nothing special, it's just void on void. Precision Instrument, Envious Assassin, like I said, nothing too crazy. And we have particle deconstruction, so the fusion rifles actually have a little bit of leeway, which, you know, is interesting. I saw that what's it called? I genuinely don't know the name. It's like Locust something, Locust Flower or Locust something. It's like a new rocket pistol that got added to the game recently. I really want to get it. I think it's like Nightfall / Grandmaster oriented, so we're gonna have to do some farming eventually. But let's see if I can get a couple. You guys basically get the point. Necrotic Grip is a must, because although I love to spread needle with like the arcane needles and like the poison and stuff like that, Warlock has one of the worst melees for void, really. So it's very difficult. So if I'm gonna be punching a lot of stuff and doing finishers and whatnot, that was a waste. Why the fuck did I do that? Holy shit, dude! I thought the timer was actually like gonna be at 0 by the time that I hit the. This is actually horrible. I'm gonna die here. Hold on. Why I don't have Devour, dude? Why don't I have Devour? Hold on. Okay, I have a decent amount of health. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm gonna die. Hold on. Oh shit. Okay, cool. Nothing happened. Literally nothing happened. Don't even worry about it. I'm actually gonna wait a little bit more before I actually chuck this one, because that was a waste. Right. So I'm pretty sure we're gonna have to do. Can we kill him? No, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to do one more. Well, actually, let's see. That's 1, 2. Yeah, one more. He's dead. Sweet. All right, there we go. Now, let's actually swap to a different fusion rifle. Let's swap to I really don't know. I guess like a random hand cannon, like Midnight Coup or something for like the eyes. And that should be it. We're also going to do a little cheeky rotation, right? We're just gonna go in a square. We're not gonna do any fancy turns or none of that. I really hope I don't regret using Doom Petitioner for this. So yeah, doing this without Prismatic is gonna suck, and I need to remember to constantly get my Devour back every single time that I actually swap from one podium to another. Otherwise, I'm just gonna sizzle. I'm gonna burn. Or not burn, sorry. I'm gonna thaw out. I'm gonna freeze. Okay, quickly go over here. I gotta pop a rift. I gotta shoot him once and then immediately hit him with the Nova. Okay, I did not get the Withering Gaze, but I did get the particle deconstruction, and this is already gonna turn out to be so bad. Oh no. Okay, I need Necrotic to actually help me get some assists real quick, but this is not gonna happen, dude. I don't have Devour. Oh no. Hold on. I'll just try to get like a double kill real quick if I don't die here. Hold on. Oh no. Yeah, no, this is horrible. I'm gonna have to swap to a different heavy weapon. I can't use the linear, dude. I can't really focus with this. Okay. Now, the one good thing is that there's a lot of ammo everywhere, so when it comes to this, I can just hold my aim real quick and then hit you real quick, and the problem that I'm having is that I'm triggering particle deconstruction. I don't think that particle reconstruction and Withering Gaze, I really need to get this rift back. Stack, probably not. So having either or is really nice. Give me the heavy, thank you. Okay, we really gotta place this. Kind of placed it a little too far back, honestly, but okay. Debuff. Get you with the Child of the Old Gods. I have 1 grenade. Hit you quickly. A couple more shots. And this is going to be like a 6 phase, 7 phase if I keep using a linear. So, nah, that's not going to happen. We got to swap to something else. Look at this. So, I think I'm good. I don't think I need to actually pick up any more buffs and stuff like that. So, let's get out. Now, let's quickly make our way over to yonder. Just like that. And then, okay, the fact that they're spawning right here, I don't like it. So, let's quickly debuff. Punch. And then... Ooh, shit, that was really close. I shouldn't have not done that, as well as the fucking... Oh, no. Dude, I'm playing so recklessly right now. I can't believe I actually wasted the melee. I should have kept the melee so I could proc Devour. Now, luckily, I have Devour. Okay. We actually got to empty out a little bit of the clip. Now, I don't have any debuffing on this, so I might actually stop. I'm dead. Oh, no, I'm dead. Okay, Devour ran away. The fact that I'm still alive is crazy. Let me pop the reload. Let me get an Orb of Power real quick. Okay, there we go. Now let me actually see if I can... Come on, please. All right, I did not get the Withering Gaze, but I did get the particle, but it's still not doing anything. I feel like it didn't do anything. Okay, dude, we're still quite a ways away from like half health, and this thing is already going to expire. Yep. Okay, so let's just put this here quickly. And then we're just going to have to chuck him everything. Particle, Withering, and we're also going to have to use Child of the Old God. Then a couple bursts, and it's still... Oh, dude, this is horrible. This is like a C-list performance right here. These weapons are good for what we're doing, but somehow I expected them to be a little bit better. And I think it's because the fusion rifle itself is really good, Gravitic Arrest, because Demolitionist is whatever, right? I feel like Demolitionist after like a... I don't even know how long, really, but after like a couple seasons, like Demolitionist, I feel like got nerfed, and now you need a lot more kills to get grenades back, which obviously makes sense, so it's fine, you know. However, I don't know, I just feel like ability spam would have been more enjoyable a couple seasons back with this weapon. But Withering Gaze for what it is and for these particular enemies is really good, which kind of begs the question, which is, what is the likelihood that Bungie at some point is going to add damage over time weapons and perks and stuff like that to like Arc and Solar? Because Demoralize, Withering Gaze, like even Collective Obligation, I know that I'm like ranting at this point, but Collective Obligation, like the exotic from Vow the Disciple, that exotic, like basically if you, the TLDR is like if you debuff someone and then you shoot them with the weapon, they're like suppressed, you can leech suppress, and then you can like shoot it back at whoever. Same thing with like weakened and stuff like that. You can basically leech the boy debuffs. So with that, if you're playing with people, it would be really good. Or if you're using like maybe Tractor or Child of the Old Gods on a specifically Void class, because you can't really Withering Gaze someone and then quickly swap to Collective. Like you probably could, but it's not ideal. You're gonna run through so much ammo. So we gotta take care of the eyes quickly, and then afterwards we can get 2 more that we can deposit, and this should go over very smoothly. I'm gonna go easy because I actually don't want him to... Never mind, I actually want him to die. Get out, because you actually spawned the thing. Also, shout out to me, because even though there's a lot of options for like exotics and stuff like that, I still chose Necrotic, and it's probably because of the Devour Poison combo, because dude, punching one of these dudes with the orb and like letting Devour refill as I'm like running and playing hacky sack with this thing is pretty nice. Whatever. So let's do that quickly. Okay, so he's gonna take a big chunk of damage right here on the first one. That was a waste, but I have the grenade luckily, so that's going to help. I need to keep the aim really high up. I cannot snipe any of the tourists. There we go. Cool. Okay, let's go over here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's quickly try to get another punch for Devour, and let's get a a Withering Gaze. Let's get out of here. 1 more Devour so that it keeps spreading basically. Okay, now we actually waited for Withering Gaze to pop up, and clearly we are doing more damage, so I genuinely think I'm tweaking. That being said, it does not last very long, so I don't know. I'm kind of tempted to just like particle deconstruct and just kind of leave it how it is, even though we're not doing no damage. Because look at this. Okay, Withering. Okay, now we got Withering. Hit him. Then you're getting really close. Holy. Okay. This is so nerve-wracking, dude. We're going to have to do like 3 more phases. Look at this, dude. There's no way. I was mentioning it earlier, but honestly, I think if we were to have a... What do you call it, dude? Like if we were to have a solar... area of denial, that's the word that I was looking for. If we were to have a solar area of denial grenade launcher, and it like not scorch, because that would be too broken, it would do way too much damage realistically with ignitions and stuff like that, but like if you could have like one of them that basically burns and it leaves like a little pool of lava, kind of like Wither Horde, but like it's the same as like a Wave Frame, but just like solar, and it like scorches and it like ignites enemies a little bit, and it's like damage over time, that would be really good. I love that. Those are the type of weapons that really make Destiny fun, because basically everything that does damage over time is like exotic, right? Because you have Osteo, you have Necrochasm, you have Necrotic Grip, everything is like exotic. But you don't really have, besides those specific grenade launchers, I guess the Wave Frames, you don't really have anything that like makes it so you're like, oh shit, you know, now we act. No, you don't, unless there's like someone else on the team using like Anarchy, which is another exotic. It's, I don't know. I am noticing, just like from like shooting enemies and stuff like that, that the Withering Gaze from the perk is doing a little bit more than particle reconstruction. I feel that when I actually aim with the weapon with Withering Gaze and I shoot the boss, he actually does take more damage, or at least that's what the numbers indicate, rather than just like hitting him with a regular shot. Now granted, he is really far away, so maybe me missing or not hitting every pellet accurately is the reason, but alas. I'm gonna chuck that grenade over there. I almost went there instinctively, not not knowing that that's okay. Get out of the way. There we go, peasant. Now we quickly do that. Put the ring, Shoot him 1, 2, 3 times. Get the Nova, and then empty the heavy. Dude, come on. We're gonna kill him with the. We're actually gonna be honorable. We are going to kill him with the fusion rifle. I actually forgot. Okay, this is it. This is it. This is it. This is it. The stakes are getting higher. Give me the heavy. Thank you. Okay, keep necrotic. Everything is taking damage. Debuffed. A little too close. Leveled up. Shout out to me. Okay. And that's all the ammo that I had. Now I'm going to save the melee and I'm going to go far. Oh, heavy. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, dude. This is going to be so interesting against final boss. I swear. Okay. So now we do that. Oh, and I got to reload. That's embarrassing. Okay. Thank you for the devour. Thank you for sunshine. Okay. Over here. Quickly. Let's quickly do that. Imagine I didn't have one more bell. That would be really, really, really bad and embarrassing. So let's get Child of the Old Gods quickly. And did not need it. Okay. He probably... Okay. He was probably really, really, really close to dying. Like a sliver left. And I was like going to overkill it. But it's fine. Because I damn near had no time. That was like 7 phases worth of damage. This is not a good setup. I should probably use something different. But it's time for the sniper. Which I'm not looking forward to. But... it's time for the sniper. Oh, damn, dude. This is going to be painful. Why am I here? Okay. Oh, why am I here? Ready to suffer. I don't think it's going to be that bad because there's a little hole corner where you can go and hide on this first initial plate. Now, one thing that I've always loved about Warlords, which I never say it, but I mean, it might be the case at this point. Like, my favorite one is Ghost of the Deep, but something about Warlords really just scratches the favorite dungeon button inside of my brain. I don't even know how to explain it, but like everything about how this encounter is mechanically structured is, I love it. All the freedom and all the free reign that you have in terms of exploring and where you get to damage and stuff like that. Alas, any of that. So the sniper, Velada F, whatever that means, it probably means like French subway or something, I don't know. That weapon in particular, basically same setup. Snapshot sights is like for PvP-ish related reasons, basically. But the actual Withering Gaze, same thing that we had on the fusion rifle. So this should actually work really well. However, I have Child of the Old Gods, and I also have the... yeah, I basically have Child of the Old Gods. So I don't know which one is going to be ideally better for tracking. So what we're going to do is we're going to shoot that already. And then we're just going to Doom Petitioner Bro from over here. Now, I should have shot him with Child of the Old Gods to trigger that, considering I'm not using a fusion rifle. I'm using a linear fusion rifle. This doesn't really count, I believe. And if it does count, then, you know, it is what it is. The witches, they're not really too annoying to deal with, really. Like, if I just quick scope them one time, they're basically not dead, but let's see. Yeah, give or take. I will say, I don't know if these weapons can be... not red bordered, but I don't know if they can be enhanced off the top of my memory. Probably not, because they are world, like some of them are world, you know, weapons and stuff like that. Maybe Exalted Truth can, because it can be adept from trials and stuff. But I have a feeling that these weapons can't really be enhanced all that much. If they were to be enhanced, or if you can enhance a weapon at some point that has Withering Gaze, I would imagine that the perk would be a lot better, because it is in my opinion, it's like a direct copy in a different font, right? To something like, what's the name of that? Box breathing. Because box breathing, you have to aim, have a little bit of self-control, and then you can shoot. You have to wait so that you can actually do a little bit more damage. Similar to how Leviathan's Breath, if you have constant critical... I'm dead. If you have constant critical hits, you're basically chilling, and the thing shoots faster, and if you miss, the thing botches. It's the same thing. But, like, you actually have to, you know, aim for once before you start shooting and going crazy, which is nice. It's like a nice little trade-off. So if you were to increase that time by masterworking or enhancing a weapon that has withering, it will be really nice. So now we're actually going to learn and chuck that before they spawn to avoid the tracking. And look at that. This is some really juicy damage right here. Look at this. This is where Doom Petitioner is actually shining. The reconstruction side of things doesn't really mean too much, considering you only get like maybe 6 to 7 shots, and if the linear that you're using, like me, has 3 shots that it fires, yeah, there's no way that you're gonna get the whole magazine off, really, because you're like, it's just not gonna happen, right? It's like kind of like when Storm Chaser came out and everyone was going crazy in Duality. Good times. Curious to see how the top floor is gonna be like, so we're just gonna take care of everything. completely take all all your defenses. It's like when you go to the beach and like you step on a crab and like you're like, what was that, a coral? And then there's like a crab missing a chunk or like missing a leg or whatever. Really funny. Not funny, that's probably cruel and painful, but apparently they can regenerate limbs, so I don't really think it's too painful if you can do that, because if I could regenerate an arm, I probably wouldn't feel so bad losing one. Probably be an inconvenience, which kind of begs the question, dude. If I had to lose a sense, I would honestly rather lose the what's it called, smell, because I understand that if you lose your sense of smell, you probably like your tasting kind of goes to shit because you use your smell to taste as well. But dude, I don't want to be blind. I don't want to be deaf either. I love music. The fuck, I like, you know what I mean? And I'm not losing touch. I could not, dude. Like, this took a really dark turn. I'm just saying we should be really grateful to be alive, dude, and we should be really grateful. Now, I'm also very grateful that this dude is basically poisoned and I got one of the things done, but I can't get the second one, so this is going to be a lackluster DPS. We're probably going to have to do a, yeah, barely got that, but we're probably gonna have to do, so look, we're gonna wait, Withering, Nova, then we're gonna do Doom Petitioner. Yeah, no, we're going, oh shit, hold on, I'm dead. Okay, I gotta get the punch. I don't have Devour, so that was really bad, but I do have the thing that getting melees regenerates my health a little bit. That was, okay, I don't want to die here. Let me actually get Devour back up. Let me pick up the heavy just because we're already right here, and then let's quickly make it to final. So we're gonna get Withering, and I basically missed, but it's fine. I actually shouldn't pop the rift. I don't even know why I popped the rift down. I'm so used to using a bait and switch that I'm like messing up, but this is perfect because it's actually getting the, I'm dead. The thing is like shock waving all the little eyes and killing them for me, which is really good. Oh, okay. I thought I actually shot that too early, but we should be fine. Yeah, that eye is gonna blow up in a second. Please. Yes, there we go. Okay, that overpower basically went to the floor, so it's fine. Because speaking of, I don't think there's any ammo down below, so I'm just gonna stay up here. I'm gonna Withering Gaze one more time, and then I'm gonna dump heavy. Okay, so let's quickly do that. This grenade might actually help now that I think about it, but I think I'm gonna save it. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna save it for when I get down below again. So basically a little under half, or sorry, a little over half. For, I can't believe this actually went better than the first boss, and it's clearly because of my getting shot and followed, but dude, still, very respectable weapon. But now let's quickly do one of the brilliant things that someone in a position like me can do, and it's get rid of the eyes, because these sentry turrets hit so hard. Okay, now as for the pistol that I'm using, I used it on the previous encounter, and this one, Midnight Coup, Firefly, I don't remember the name of the other perk. It'll be on screen, but it's nothing too crazy. I feel like when the Into the Light weapons were here, I did get a bunch of god rolls for weapons that I did not use, and I haven't used like ever since, like Elsie's rifle and stuff like that. However, Mountaintop, Hammerhead, those type of weapons, they did, you know, see a little bit of play, but not much. Realistically, Mountaintop's like a tool, and Hammerhead has been forgotten for like a while. And that being said, speaking of being forgotten, okay, we should get these two little cheeky pods. If I don't die, I need to pop a rift. I'm dead. We're gonna fix the mistake that I made previously. We're gonna send Child to go pick up the divorced dad, hit you with one of these. That's not gonna do anything. That's gonna track. I'm gonna do that right there so that it kills and gives me Devour, hopefully. Yep. And then that's basically it, because I don't have any more ammo. But we did push him damn near to what's it called, to half health, which is fine. That's ideally what I wanted. Now I need more ammo. I need to get my super back, because the super is what's basically giving me, you know, the opportunity to go to the next floor. That being said, yeah, these witches, okay, we're good. Now let's actually take care of the sentries again. We need to get that brick that just spawned. Thank you for the Devour. Keep the grenade. That was probably a really bad throw at the end of the day, but we are almost half super, so this is really good. Okay, now we should actually clear this area real quick so that when the boss actually comes back, we don't have to worry about a single thing. Anyway, let's get this eye real quick. It's poison, bro. As soon as he spawns, we got a bunch of intruders right here, dude. That's not good. Okay, I'm actually gonna do damage from like right here in this back corner, so let's quickly stick you with that. That did not work. That did not work, dude. That's not gonna do anything. I could probably chuck this, but I think I'd rather wait. There's no point in actually trying to be a hero. If I touch that, I'm dead. Oh, the floor is lava. Okay, cool. We survived. Nothing happened. All right, we're gonna have to stay here for like one more, which is fine. It doesn't really bother me all too much. However, it's basically time. So let's get Withering on you one more time, or debuff it, whatever you want to call it. Bam! Eat it. And now we're gonna get a couple heavy. That was literally the couple heavy. It was like one shot. And that's basically it. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. I didn't want to really pursue it further because I need to save heavy. I need to save not pistol ammo, but I need to save sniper ammo because final stand is gonna be treacherous. I feel like when you're not using prismatic, final stand can take up to a hot minute, which nothing wrong with because I'm still playing the game for a reason, but man, it's okay. So we're gonna save everything because I really don't want to run out of ammo, because if I had to be killing stuff to actually get my devour back, I would rather have ammo so I can one shot the eyes from behind the pillar if the boss and everything else is gonna like be shooting at me. So this I feel like is gonna be a problematic one. If I don't die, this little rift is gonna carry so much. Okay, but this might be, in my opinion, a problematic one, and the reason why is because first of all, you're still alive, but he spawned the thing. Okay, there we go. No, we're good. But I don't have super. I'll get it back in a second, but 5, 4, 3. Okay, that's fine. Let me get out of here. Another orb of power. I already got 2, so I'm going to ignore it. Climb up here. I probably could get my super if I damaged the boss. I need to hide behind the pillar, but I need to get Withering as soon as you blink. Bink! There we go. Idiot. That is so risky. Please get a kill with Devour. Please. It didn't. Okay, I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to save it. I know you might be thinking that that's probably like a waste and I should have shot it or whatever. I don't want to push this man into final. You know what I mean? 1, 2, 3. I said I didn't want to do it, but I folded. I'm sorry. It is what it is. And now, if I'm not mistaken, get it? It's taken. We should have to do probably like what? Like 1 burst of damage, and that should be it, because like we're like teasing the health bar at this point. There, I wasted a shot. Whatever. We gotta hurry. Hopefully the little destabilizing burp or whatever is actually gonna help us, because we're already out of ammo, which means we actually gotta pop this. This is going to be major for spreading cancer, not cancer, what the fuck, for spreading coronavirus amongst all the little sentry guns. But I'm running out of ammo, dude. I gotta be very strategic. I can't miss. I'm already missing. I need to get Devour. I'm sorry. Hold on. Gotta pop some eyes. But yeah, this is basically it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a while. If I don't die, imagine if I die doing the outro. That's gonna be so embarrassing. But it's been a while. And clearly, Warlords out of all the dungeons, I didn't want to do something necessarily easy and quick. So that's why we're here. But it came and went. So maybe I will see you guys at a different dungeon that's somewhat harder. There's actually a bunch of videos that I want to film, and I will get back to that. Again, like I said, I just took like a 2-month break. But alas, we're going to go back to the YAP sessions and all the funny, dumb challenges that you guys love to watch and I hate doing because they are genuinely traumatizing. So that being said, a little cheeky Warlord's Ruin. It was like an hour, give or take, for me, I think, because like these weapons aren't necessarily the crackiest. But Withering Gaze, Exalted Truth, Velada, you have Gravitic Arrest, you have a little bit of everything for no exotic whatsoever. But it doesn't matter. How much damage was that, though? Kind of want to see. But the weapons, in my opinion, are really good. I feel like the kits and all the debuffing, all the things that you can do in a raid, in a dungeon, in an endgame setting, the fact that these things also stun champions, really good weapons, really fun to use, really good for ad clear, but they actually defend themselves really well for boss DPS. But again, to each their own. So ladies and gentlemen, I will catch y'all later. Have a good one. Peace out, and it's good to be back. Later, everyone.